Unmute. Okay. Yes.
Good
Yes.
evening, everybody.
Yes.
Good evening, young friends. I am to introduce myself as a student of economics. I have been a student of economics since 1978. I'm still a student of economics because I still work on economics and economic issues. Nandita has very nicely elaborated the opportunities, the effort, and the work one has to do to become an economist and more specifically to join Indian Economic Service. Ansuman, the youngest of all in this group, apart from you students, has very nicely projected what an all-rounder should do and what it means to be an all-rounder. Apart from being an all-rounder, in Ansuman, I find he's a very nice boy. He's a very humble, very respectful, a very nice boy. That attribute all the children should emulate. Apart from seeing his video, you must see him in person to take his advice, how to get appreciation as a good boy. So now let us move to the study of economics, what economics is and how useful this economics is, and this usefulness is for the society as well as for yourself. I'm bringing society first because all of us draw our sustenance from the society. If we allow the society to grow, you will all grow. So apart from this, it helps in building a good society. It helps building yourself. So now what is economics? Everybody has said all these things. I'll just create a nuanced approach to that. Economics is the science of choice. All of you know what is a choice. You know, you prefer to study or you go to a theater. You prefer to work in one place or you prefer to work in another place. It is all choice. And as Ansuman and Nandita has both emphasized, one exercise the choice for the best, and if not, for the second best. So you will always evaluate what is best for you and how to work for the best. And in your society, in the work sphere, you will always work in a direction to find out what is the best that you can achieve for the society, in the workplace, in your job outcome. Don't forget that you have to look at the outcome of your effort. If you put in 8 hours of work, you must get result of 8 hours of work. Now, coming into some details about the economics, Nandita has said it is both a science as well as an art. I agree with that. It is a science because you have to prove many things and you have to use statistics to come to a reasonable conclusion of what you see in the events, in the data around you. And with the help of statistics, you would be able to reach that stage of scientific conclusion. Though it is not perfect, but we call it reasonably acceptable proposition. So the challenges in the society today, I'm not talking about the country, I'm bringing in the entire world. Say, for example, COVID-19. COVID-19, whether this closure of the workplace was really a desirable thing, whether there was no other alternative for that, and if there are other alternatives, what are those alternatives? You might have heard about life and livelihood. So it is a great choice. All the time in our life, all the time when you work, whether in the private sector or in the government or in the civil society, you will be confronting this choice to straight up whether I should do this, whether I should do that. And how do you decide? Just like that, you will not decide on basis of whims and fancies, on the basis of your likes and dislikes. You look at what is the empirical evidence. When I say empirical evidence, it is looking at the data the behavior of data, how things are moving, how the students are choosing careers. So that is a data. Students are choosing their career on the basis of the certainty of getting a job and how rewarding that job. So I'm just giving that example to say you what is empirical evidence. And when Nandita said about it is an art, it is really an art. By looking directly, you just look at the data and reach some conclusion. It doesn't give you any answer. And that is what when you read statistics, that is called spurious correlation. You just put two things together for a period of time. You just put two events and their quantity. Over a period of time, you will get some relationship. That is called spurious. So what when Nandita said it is an art, when Nandita said it is an art, it is really an art because in your intuitive mind, you look at what is really the relationship between two events, then you test it. So unless you know the subject, unless you know how the events, how the facts, they interact with each other, you will not be able to assimilate the data to test whether that is correct. So it is so basically when I say so, it involves a lot of critical thinking, a lot of analytical ability, and when you do all these things, it constantly widens your horizon. And as a student of economics, suppose again Nandita has brought in interdisciplinary work. In a workplace, you will find there are several people who come from different disciplines. It is only the student of economics who signs out in the workplace, provided the economic student has really studied economics. He signs because he has got a brilliant capacity to analyze, brilliant capacity to put together facts, which other disciplines, students of other disciplines fail to do because their mind is unidirectional mostly. As a student of economics, your mind constantly expands in different directions. You might have heard about 360 degree. And now the question, again Nandita has brought in Industry 4.0, where technology is playing a great role. When technology is playing a great role, the question arises, which industry, whether the industry will be able to adapt the technology, it is a question of choice. So now I'm leaving the subject here. I'm going about the career options. Mostly my colleagues Nandita, Onsuman, and Nayak Saab, they have mentioned about opportunities in the Indian economic service. I want to go beyond that. I would prefer any student of economics should become a researcher. Of course, research options in India is very limited. Research is not rewarding and research is not respected. But to be a real professional economist, you must pursue a research, aspire to do a research outside the country. There are some centers in India where there is good research being done. One is Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Studies in Mumbai. And another good place to study and do research is Central University of Hyderabad. I don't know what they are doing today, but for a pretty long time, students of Central University of Hyderabad were doing much better as far as becoming a researcher economics. In fact, to tell you, the current vice chancellors of Bangalore School of Economics is a young boy who passed out from Central University of Hyderabad, who happens to be the secretary of Indian Econometric Society. So now, question is, if you want to pursue research as the first best option, then you must, along with economics, you must have a thorough understanding of mathematics. I know most of the undergraduate students and colleges, they made it compulsory to have mathematics as a subject in economics. But I would emphasize that you must understand mathematics. Without understanding mathematics, you'll not be able to do a thorough work as an economist. Second, I would advise all my young friends to have a feel of the data while studying now. If you have a feel of the data, you'll imbibe that attitude throughout your life. The next time when you were subjected to a test, you'll not have to search for the data. The crucial data, at a crucial point of time, you'll be able to understand and it remains in your mind. Not all data you have to look at. Events, first find out the events which are critical. Just as Nayak Sahab has said, the 1991, it is a watershed time in Indian economy. And most of the things you must know what is that in 1991. And if you find that there are certain critical events that happened in 1991, then you must know those figures. What was those figures? And then look at the trend. You don't have to see all the figures for all the years. Just imagine that this is the trend. There is a tendency whether this critical figure is rising or falling or fluctuating, or there are no pattern at all. That makes your presentation before any audience in an extempo system very easier. You don't have to be afraid whether I'll be wrong or right. Or you may also say that this is around this figure, and this figure has moved to this figure around a radius. So that critical aptitude for reading, for looking at figure and assimilating those figures in your mind, collating those figures in your work is very essential. And I think the last thing I would suggest is that you have talked about opportunities in the government. We have talked about lecturers in government colleges and university. We have talked about researchers, and the most important area, expanding opportunities, think tanks. Now, many private think tanks, they are coming. And there are consulting groups who are doing independent research. Then there are groups. All the banks have got economic cell. All big corporates have got economic cell. All well-placed civil society group. All of you know NGOs, non-governmental NGOs. You don't look at the non-governmental NGOs in your neighborhood who does some project on behalf of the government. There are international NGOs who hire economists. Then there is opportunities in the World Bank, UN system, opportunities in IMF. But let me tell you, most of the opportunities for economists in the World Bank, IMF, or the UN, they have their education from abroad. We don't come across opportunities being advertised by World Bank for advertising their vacancies. It is somehow the vacancies are filled up over there itself. There is wide opportunities for economists. There is pride of being an economist. There is pride of being a student of economics. And you people who prefer to be an economist should be prepared for lifelong learning if you want to stay relevant in the system. If you don't have to cut a sorry figure among your colleagues, because people expect from you a lot more than from others, because they know that he is a student of history. We don't expect. But when they know here is a person among us, a student of economics, people expect. So what are some attributes of a student of economics? He or she should have discipline. He or she should have determination. And the child should have the ability to express correctly. There are two ways of expressing. One is expressing through our language, and the other is expressing through mathematical symbols. So you must have proper competence in writing your English as well as understanding your mathematics, and do hard work, prepare for regular work throughout your life. You become a successful economist, and there are ample opportunities in the world for economists. There are no unemployment among economists. You will never find unemployment among economists. So I think I've spoken enough, and there are other things to say, but it will be prolonging because the subject is such, it is very vast. So there is no end to it. So we'll invite questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you all.
Thank
Best wishes.